Hey guys, what's going on? It's a Block Bull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now today we will take a look at the charts as always. However, first and foremost, we have some decent news coming for the XDC network. Now we're all aware that XDC 2.0 is due to launch in September, which is next month, ladies and gentlemen. However, the Digital Economy Council of Australia proudly welcomes XDC network as a foundational partner. So this is massive news for the XDC network. We are making inroads. In other news, we also have JP Morgan Chase to accept XRP for credit card and mortgage payments, which is pivotal. Obviously, the ISO tokens, in particular XDC, XRP, and some other smart contract platforms will be looking to utilize, and ultimately with real world assets they will be looking at bringing those assets on chain as well. XRP providing the liquidity. In watcher news as well, we've also got Tron as well. Tron is making headlines at the moment. So AI sets Tron price for August 25th. Now apparently they've had some massive revenue, recording all-time highs of 5.33 million, ranking first among all blockchains. It's still early, so let's keep the momentum going, this tweet says. So Tron is doing really well at the moment, and like I said, everything depends on the revenue, and that ultimately keeps the ecosystem pumping in the right direction as they can roll revenue back into their sort of business model, if you will. So we got Tron price predictions as well. I did see down here that apparently 87%, here we go, 87% of the altcoin holders were making money at the asset's current price. So 87% of holders holding Tron at the moment are in profit, which is really good. Now, I'm going to take you to my watch list here on CoinMarketCap. Now, I've just filtered these by 7 days. We can do 24 hours as well. But Velo, ladies and gentlemen, Velo is smashing it as always. Velo is up 20% on the week and 15 to 16% on the day. Gala doing okay, 10% on the week. Stronghold also 10%. XRP doing okay, 6%, etc, etc. So, without further ado, we will dive right into the charts. Now, it's only right to do so to begin with Velo, seeing as we're up 20% on the week. Now let's just go to lines with marker just to simplify, as always, how we are getting on in the market. It's currently on the 4-day here. Let's move out to the daily. Here we go. We've got the Fibonacci targets already in place here, where we mark the high to the bottom of this previous cycle. So we're doing okay now. We've bounced off this red trend line here. We're back above the 200-day moving average, as we already aware. Now, as you can see, we're actually running back into resistance. Now, if I mark out here with the yellow line, this was one of the interim peaks. So you see how we got the bottom down here? We set a new all-time low, and we got that really strong bounce before we rolled over again. So this, for me, is a pivotal sort of price action that's played out in this particular chart. So this is where we are now in current price action. You can see current price action there flashing at the yellow line. So once we break that yellow line, I believe Velo can then begin to run, and let's just have a look, see where we can run to now. So I'll be looking for some major sort of dips here. So this sort of section here, and what I can also do is add my indicators as well. Got smart money concepts, which is order block detectors, so we can have a look here. So as you can see here, this is where the liquidity is. So this will be like the first sort of target, second sort of target. Then ultimately we want to be breaching this peak here, which I do expect us to do, especially as we move into September, October time. So once we break this sort of high here, let's just take a look as well in terms of gains. Say from current price action, we're hovering around there. So we're talking around, I'd say about 110, 120% returns, just to return to that interim peak there. Okay, once we break this prior resistance. So 110, 120% gains to be had in the interim. And then obviously we'll be looking at getting up to these Fibonacci targets up here. So my first sort of targets would be up here. We're about 22x away from these sort of major sort of resistance levels, if you will. There's not much resistance to go once we break this yellow horizontal line. So for me, Velo is kind of front running the market at the moment, and if you're not involved in Velo at the moment, then I would strongly consider buying yourself a bag now before this resistance level is broken, where the floodgates will open for Velo. So Velo looking really, really good at the moment. We'll take a look at, let's have a look how XRP Bitcoin chart is getting on as well. Now let me just clean these charts up a little bit for you guys, and I'm going to flick over to the candles as well, because as you know, we are counting the weekly candles as well. If you do follow me over on X, because we have been tweeting about the consecutive candles here. Let me just get to it. Here we go. So this is unprecedented in my opinion. This has never been achieved on the XRP Bitcoin chart. We've actually printed 7 green consecutive candles. It's never been done before. Okay, so let's get back to it now. Let's scroll out, see where we are. Again, we're in the 7th week now, so we will be looking to make history this week. Once we close the markets on Sunday, we'll literally be opening a new candle. Hopefully it's a green. We'll be looking at an 8th consecutive candle as we roll in to September, when the rate cuts are expected to happen with the US dollar. Now, if that happens, it's bad news for the US economy. However, it is fantastic news if you're involved in crypto, which is exactly why I'm all in, because the US dollar affects the rest of the fiat currencies, whether it be the euro, whether it be the British pound, whether it be the Japanese yen. Japanese yen, I'm not going to get into it because obviously a lot of banks are defaulting at the moment in Japan, and I believe Ripple XRP will be the answer for Japan. They will probably be the first one to sort of utilize XRP as a cryptocurrency, especially with their partnerships with SBI Group. Okay, obviously they're a massive shareholder in Ripple. So that's XRP. We're still looking really good on the Bitcoin chart. Now I can go over to the USD chart as well. Here we go. Currently trading at 60 cents. We are above current price action at the moment. You can see the 200-day moving average here, this faint blue line. Now I have got this on the log chart as well, because yesterday I did shoot the blueprint for the XRP. So if you didn't watch the video yesterday, make sure you check out the channel. Go onto my homepage on the YouTube and you'll be able to see exactly how I describe this market playing out. So we're looking at around December time before we do get that initial breakout. Up here, this fractal has got us going up to roughly about top end of $6 before a correction there down to $3. Again, this doesn't account for any fractals, don't account for any like fluctuations with wicks on the sort of candles, if you will. This is all done by light lines with marker, if that makes sense. So this is where we are now, guys. Obviously there's a couple of take profit sort of areas, whether or not you want to sort of be cashing out here, waiting for that retracement, because believe it or not, you are saving 50%. Because corrections are going to be wild throughout this bull market once we do roll into 2025. And obviously here I've always been advising between $27, $28 to cash out before again we crash down to about that $13 mark. Okay, so that's XRP, nothing new, but we're looking really well, especially with this sort of strong information that's obviously been released in the last week or two. Now let's get back into it with XDC. XDC is still in a sort of downwards trend, if you will. Now I'm just going to flick over to the linear chart as well. Now I've been marking out this sort of yellow channel here. Now this has been marked out on whether it be the hourly, 2 hourly, it doesn't really matter. And I can go over to the candlesticks. So I was saying that XRP was consolidating for like the past 10 days. So you see here, Friday the 9th of August, all the way up to, I'd say about the 20th of August, 21st of August. So it's way over 10 days we've been consolidating, and then obviously XDC has broken down. So where we can go now is anyone's guess at this moment in time. Now, even though I cover TA, there's some charts in particular that obviously start trading in extended price action where we just don't have the answers, because you can see here how we've actually got this macro sort of structure here. Now I can go up to sort of the weekly. Now this weekly TA has been respected ever since we actually created this all-time high back in the 21 cycle. Okay, and similar here with this middle blue line here, where we get the impulse, get the bounce, we fall through the floor, we come back, we bounce. What was the floor is now the ceiling. Then we get that rejection, and there's this respect along this horizontal blue line along the bottom. Still under the 200-day moving average, and we are actually experiencing extended price action. So when it's in extended price action, it's almost in this sort of grey zone. So we don't know if we're going, we're coming, we don't know if we're going up, we don't know if we're going down. It's literally, you get put into that sort of zone where it's literally blind faith. So unless you've done your research on projects like the XDC network, you won't have the mental capacity to be able to hodl your bags, which is why it's important to also do your fundamental analysis as well, not just your TA on the charts. Now, like I say, XDC 2.0 is coming, so in my opinion, that will then enhance XDC to be the most secure and scalable blockchain in the world. Now, we all know that there's only one bridge across to R3 Corda, which is responsible, may I remind you, of 90% of global transactions. Okay, so XDC will be the bridge currency for Impel, which is the bridge for R3 Corda to the public area. Okay, so XDC is a must hold in my opinion, despite the TA not looking brilliantly. Okay, so that is XDC. I'm also going to cover, let's have a look at XDC XRP as well, because I've been keeping tabs on this. We will make this lines with marker again. Now, I've mentioned this before, where XRP has been outperforming XDC. Okay, we have, in my opinion, reached the tip of this wedge. So we are literally expiring all TA at this point. Macro TA, that is. Obviously, I'm not going into the hour, 2 hourly chart on, you know, most of these cryptos, although I did show you that consolidation pattern on the XDC. However, it looks as if we're breaking down, so whether or not this is a fake out, who knows, but ultimately we've taken out this swing low down here, which was set in July of 23 last year. So the fact that we've actually taken out this price action, in my opinion, XDC is ready to bounce and is ready to begin outperforming XRP despite us falling underneath the wedge. So do not sleep on XDC. That is the point I am trying to get across. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. So if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe, share, comment, do what you gotta do. I've been the Blockbull, over and out.